So unit conversion is another part of the lab, and is something that will fairly come often during the semester. We'll use unit conversion in different contexts. So together here we're going to go through a first example. You'll see in your lab on the second page there is a method called stoichiometric ratio to help you do unit conversion. And I mean converting between centimeter and meter, for example, or converting between feet and inches. So using stoichiometric ratio is one way to do unit conversion. In here, I would like to show you a different way, a way that I usually use. So both methods give you the same result, but the method that I'm going to show you right now, to me, is a little bit more simple to use. It is called cross multiplication. And so each time you're gonna have to convert a unit for another one, you are always giving like the baseline. For example, if you look at the table at the bottom of page 2 of your lab, below the table you have those basic conversion ratio. One says that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meter. So let's say that I want so let's take the first example. You'll have to measure your astronomy book using a ruler, and your ruler most likely is gonna be either in inch or in centimeter. You usually have both unit in there. So let's say you measure it in centimeter, but you want to convert it to meter. So from the table, below the table, you know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So I'm going to write a little table there. I will have one column with the unit that I am measuring in, and another column with a unit that I want to convert here. So we're going to go from centimeter to meter. What we know is that 100 centimeter equal 1 meter. Let's say now you measure your book, and your book has a length of 23 centimeter. How many meter is that? So that's where the cross multiplication went into play. So this unknown, this number of meter unknown, we can call it, let's say, we can call it A. That's the number you want to figure out. So what you will do is that you will multiply this part. You're going to create an equation multiplying the first leg of the cross. So 100 by A is going to be equal to the other leg of the cross, is equal to 1 multiplied by 23. So 100A is equal to 23. 1 by 23 is equal to 23. So now what you want to find out is how much to what A is equal to. So to single out A on one side, you're going to divide both sides of the equation by A. You're going to divide both sides of the equation by 100. You want to keep A. So it's going to become 100A divided by 100. You do that because the 100 are going to cancel out, are equal to 23 divided by 100. It's an equation. Both sides are equal. So if you divide one side by 100, you have to divide the other side by 100 as well. So A is going to be equal to Here we're going to use the scientific notation 23 by 10 to the power of 2. When the power of 2 is at the bottom of the fraction, if you want to bring it up, the exponent becomes negative. So this is 23 by 10 to the power of minus 2. We went from a division to a multiplication with the scientific notation. So on the 23, your decimal is here. Minus 2 is mean there is 2 numbers before your digit. 1, 2. That's with that scientific notation, your decimal should be there. So A is equal to 0.23 meter. That's how you convert from one unit to another. This can work with any kind of unit. You see on page 3 of the lab. Now we talk about units that we use in astronomy. We can go from kilometer to the astronomical unit. 1 AU, 1 astronomical unit, is the distance from the sun to Earth. That's a convention. We define that to 1 AU, and it's equal to a certain number of kilometers that you will have to find on the web. So we can convert kilometer into AU. We can convert AU into parsecs, for example, or into light years. We can go from any unit to any other unit. So let's take a first example. For example, if we want to look at, let's say we're looking at Saturn. Saturn is at about 9 AU from the sun. 9.5. So let's say that I want to go from AU to kilometer, and I know that so I will build a column about AU and a column about kilometer. 1 AU, I know this is 1.5 10 to the 8th kilometer, and I know that Saturn is at about 9 AU. So to know how much, so let's call this unknown number, how much kilometers this is equivalent to, I will multiply the first part of the first leg of the cross, and that would be equal to the second leg of the cross, the multiplication of that. So 1b, that's just b. Now we only have to find out this part of the equation. So 9 multiplied by 1.5, that will give you 13.5 by 10 to the power of 8. This is in the kilometer column, so the unit has to be kilometer. Be very precise and always write down the unit for your result. So that's how you do unit conversion using cross multiplication. Now the choice is yours. You can either use the method I just demonstrated here, or use the stoichiometric ratio, which is explained in the lab, to convert the units in page 2 and 3 of the lab.